Item 1 on the agenda is apologies for absence. Item is Leslie and Will welcome to the Centre's apologies.
Yes, please. I don't like people being
Disposable, any interests? Any interests? No? All is fine. 3 minutes. They're included in the agenda pack. Everyone happy? Can I unmove them right there? Everyone show and just for the approval. Yeah, thank you. Item 4, public question time. And I believe there are some public questions. And amongst my pile of paper, I'm sure I've got a copy. So we start. The first question is from Mark Purwell. Good afternoon. Well, that's it.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you for taking my question. I would first of all like to just say on the 16th of May, Shropshire Council recognised the climate emergency and committed to create a climate action partnership with stakeholders and the wider community to partner with the council. Please confirm when this partnership will be established. There's a second part if I do that now as well. And then on the 18th of November, council officers held a discussion workshop inviting public participation, at which the council stated that 7.7% annual reductions will be required to reach zero 2030. Please confirm whether the council is committed to this target date, and if not, then what date? Right now, the UN is meeting in Madrid to face the reality that 2030 is too late to ensure we avoid runaway climate catastrophe. Please confirm whether the council will implement plans and liaise with central government to ensure that Shropshire achieves as a minimum 7.7% annual reductions, and show leadership to mobilise the people of Shropshire to accelerate the fundamental changes we need commensurate with the emergency we face. Thank you.
Okay, I'll ask Councillor Dean Carroll to respond. Dean.
Thank you, Leader, and thank you again, Mark. I've broken down your 3 questions into 3 questions to answer. So firstly, on the question of when the climate partnership will be established, the strategy framework recommended for approval on Thursday sets a clear commitment to establish such a partnership, but further discussion is required with the member task and future group, which has not met due to the general election campaign period, before such a partnership can be established. However, I anticipate that the partnership will be established as early as possible in 2020 to help guide the development of the climate action plan proposed in Thursday's report. Secondly, coming on to the target date, the strategy framework recommended for approval on Thursday gives a clear commitment to reduce Shropshire Council's greenhouse gas emissions to net carbon zero by 2030. Taking early action on what we can directly control is considered to be a more effective approach than expending significant effort, time and energy in planning and target setting. And then finally, the third part of your question relating to whether the council will implement plans and the 7.7% annual reduction. The strategy framework recommended for approval on Thursday gives a clear commitment that Shropshire Council will use its experience to work with others and provide community leadership to help Shropshire's overall carbon footprint. However, much more work and evidence is needed before the target date can be identified for net zero greenhouse gas emissions for the county as a whole.
Thank you for your answers.
Thank you. Right. Item 5 is member question time. I don't think there are any member questions. And same, no scrutiny items. Right, so we move to item 7, post-19 travel assistance policy. Councillor Ed Potter.
Thank you very much. Members of Cabinet will see before them a paper. This is resulting from to establish post-19 travel assistance policy following on from a determination of the Ombudsman. The Council has undertaken a 6-week consultation earlier on in the autumn. Those responses have been analysed which can be seen in Appendix A. To form the draft policy, which is Appendix A, details of the feedback are in Appendix B attached to the paper. This is basically what we have to do. This is required by law now, and therefore I hope that Cabinet will support us in establishing this policy going forward.
Right, if you look on page 8, there are 2 recommendations at the top of the page. Councillor Roger Evans.
Thank you, Chairman. I understand the Cabinet member have only recently became a Cabinet member, but this paper amazes me. Really. There's not one word of apology. We do this because it is the law, and yet there are people there who we should have been doing it for ages. They've been referred to adult social care, being assessed under that, when it should have been done under the Appropriate Education Act. And one can read the comments from one of the respondents on page 15, when it says that you show no empathy for the safety of the carer or the young adult. I would have thought this council should have issued a public apology, apologising for the interpretation that was made. In good faith, maybe, but we are now changing it so that we can actually assist those who are entitled to it under this sound legislation. And I wait to hear what sort of apology this council will be giving.
Right, anybody else wish to comment? So I'm assuming you're moving the area forward. I'll second it. I don't think any answer is required to Councillor Evans. So can I see all those in favour then, please? Thank you. So the next item is Mutual Permanency Arrangement Development Phase 1. Councillor Ed Potter again.
So members will remember this is following on from a paper that came to Cabinet earlier in the spring, establishing a regional permanency arrangement between 4 local authorities, Staffordshire County Council, Stoke City Council, Telford and Region Council and Shropshire Council. So this is effectively the next stage moving forward in the development of this, which commits Shropshire Council to be to develop in phase 1. This is something we are required to do throughout the country. These development agencies being set up, and with the increasing numbers of our looked after children population, it is very important that we are able to meet the permanency requirements for all our young people, to give them a stable home in a family setting going forward. This is something that we recognise as a local authority we need to work on, following on from the original Ofsted inspection and our recent revisit by Ofsted, who have said we are making good progress in this area, and this is just one of the steps in which we are taking to ensure that the young people that come into our care as a local authority achieve some stability and permanency in the placements that we are able to provide for them, whether it be through long-term foster care or adoption into a loving family setting. There are a number of recommendations on pages
25 and 26.
Yeah, 25 and 26. And I hope that, again, Cabinet will be able to support this and us moving forward with this arrangement with the other local authorities.
And I do hear reports when I'm out and about with various councils that this is considered to be a really good arrangement, and everybody is very happy with it, and it's one of the ways forward with the partnership arrangements like this. And so all the feedback is excellent at the moment. Right, so again, I'll second it. Any comments? Right, well, there's 4 recommendations. All those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. We move on to item 9, setting the council tax rate for 2021. Councillor David Minery.
Yes, thank you, Leader. I should be brief. This is the standard annual report which will actually go to the council for ratification, which sets the base upon which the calculations of the council tax to be levied are based. It does contain something which is new, and I refer members to the recommendations, I think, on page 35 of the pack, relating to the rented properties. The legislation allows us to increase the premium from the 1st of April 2020 to 200%, they're proposing that we adopt that our standard legislation. Apart from that, it's all the standard stuff.
And that has been previously discussed anyway.
Yes, it has indeed. This is just formalising.
Right, again, I'm quite happy to second it, so Councillor Roger Jones.
Thank you, Chairman. I note the council isn't doing anything about the 10-year proposal in legislation which we could have done if the council wanted to. And I also note that yet again the council are withdrawing some support from those who are needy, and if the applicant made a mistake in filling out the form some time ago, the council is now going to pursue that applicant for all the money that they owe, even if it goes back several years, even if they can't afford to pay. But and I see also that the 2% increase in band D equivalent means that besides any council tax increase, the council will also receive a 2% benefit from these houses that have been built. Right. Do you wish to comment on that? Or?
Not particularly, it is what it is.
Yeah, well that's right. Okay, any other comments on the
Can I ask a question? On page 48, Shrewsbury is down, their equivalent is £25,178 and 17 pence for a, I think that's a little bit exorbitant.
Well, that just relates to the number of properties.
But
They all add up when they put, well, when they put everything into the mix, how much money is raised, isn't it? Just the number of families.
No, because,
Yeah.
no,
Page 48.
48, Shrewsbury,
Yeah.
Shrewsbury town.
Yeah.
Shifnal's £3,276 and 53 pence. Whereas,
Hang on. Right, just
I'm
let
just
James.
So if I may, Chair, just to clarify, these are the number of Band D equivalent properties in each of those locations. So in Sheffield, we're saying there are 3,000 Band D properties, in Shrewsbury, we're saying there are slightly.
oh, thank you very much, thank you.
Right, any other comments? I see all those that in favour of the report. Thank you very much. Move on to items 10. And while we're talking about 10, I think, although we will make decisions separately, I'm quite happy to discuss 11 because 11 talks about our financial situation as well. So, but item 10, please, Henry.
Yes, thank you, Leader. This is the first draft of the proposed financial strategy for 2021 through to 24-25. Today, obviously, isn't formally adopting that. All this is doing is saying, yes, this is what we recommend to go forward in the consultation process. And we have to do, as you all know, have to undergo a statutory consultation period, after which the responses will be reviewed and we will go to council at the end of February with the final version. Given that we just had an election and given the promises made prior to that, I am expecting that at the very least something will be done about adult social care, and that actually when we get to February we'll be looking at a different set of circumstances than the ones that I'm asking everybody to approve today. And I would just like to highlight actually the impact on this council of the adult social care. If members turn to the report, paragraph 5.2, there is a chart at the top of the next page which shows the proportion of the net budget allocated to social care. And members will see that in 2015-16 it was 44% of our net budget, and it's now rising by 2019-20 to 62%. It's 50%, more or less a 50% rise in the pressure on our net budget from adult social care. And I know government have given us some additional grants. I know we've been allowed to levy additional council tax, but it by no means is enough. Yet again, we're looking at a gap somewhere between £8 and £10 between what's likely to come in and what we've got available. And that has obvious repercussions on everything else that we try to do. I'm sure we'll be criticised again when we get to council, but we are where we are. We are stuck really between a rock and a hard place here. So I am hoping that the promises that were made to us about doing something to reform adult social care in particular will come to fruition. may not happen straight away. We may have to wait another year. But as we are at the moment, we are able to put forward a balanced budget, but that is dependent at the moment on the various savings that are listed in Appendix 4. And I refer to those as well because one of the recommendations is to approve those. The recommendations themselves are on the second page of the report, which is A is to approve the savings proposals. I won't read it all out, but as outlined in Appendix 4. And B is to note the revised funding gap for the subsequent years, 21-22 to 24-25. And that's essentially the area where I'm confident we will get help in due course. And that remains to be seen. But I'll leave it at that for the moment. Put that on.
I think it is important to recognise what you're saying, though, that this is done almost, it's almost like a stab in the dark, because we haven't got all the figures, all the information from government. So James has sort of done his best guess as to almost the worst case scenario, and I can only see things improving from that position. And we will be arranging with the MPs to go and talk to ministers before too long. I've already sort of started that process, and I know they're all interested in the adult social care situation, and that is the main pressure point. So hopefully there will be some work done with that, and I think government recognise it. My only slight worry is that how much money goes to local councils and how much goes to health authorities to deal with it, and how the balance works between the two. And we will be pressing our case, as I'm sure the health people will be pressing their case. But hopefully we will be in an improved situation, and the comprehensive spending review I hope will take place sooner rather than later, and bear funding, because there's two processes. There's the bigger cake, how much goes to local government, and then whether the amount of money the local government get is decided. It's how it's split between the metropolitan councils and the county councils and all the various councils. And I've always felt, and I do talk about this these days, and I do try to explain, that Shropshire does exist. You know, it might seem like a distant land when you're in London, and they only think the metropolitan boroughs are the only interested thing. But actually our pressures are just as much. We're a bigger council than most of them, but we receive less funding, and it is important that that balance is addressed. So they get the message, but I think the next couple of months will be very interesting to see exactly what happens or doesn't. I'm sure we'll get something. I'm sure it won't be as much as in an ideal world we'd like, but hopefully there'll be a sensible compromise somewhere along the way, and it'll make our budget process slightly easier. What I would say, in the general terms, pretty pressing me here today, is what we're trying to do all the time is pay our way on a day-to-day basis. So our income each year is what we spend each year, and we're not dipping into the savings all the time. Because that's what I said about the next report, which is Treasury Management. And if you read that, and it's a public document, so it's easy enough to see, we have got £129 million in various funds, and it's, you know, so we're not a penniless council or anything. But what we've got to do is make our pay our way on a day-to-day basis all the time, and that is our reserve funds. It's there for all sorts of emergencies, and it's some of our capital spending, and that's separate money, and it is important that we make our budget work on a day-to-day basis, and that's what this report really is trying to do. So, right, Roger.
Thank you, Chairman. I note what you say, but I wish this was going to council so that we could debate it rather than leaving it with Cabinet, because Cabinet, I see it being asked to approve the savings proposal every year for the last, I don't know how many years. When Cabinet have put forward a proposal, it's failed. Failed every time it's put the proposals forward. A lot of red savings, never been achieved, not an earthly in achieving them. A lot of one-off grants have been used to bolster up the council. For the last 4 or 5 years, there's been spending freezes put in place to try and alleviate the problems that this Cabinet has been caused. 4 years of Conservative government, saying austerity is over, and there's 5 pages proposed here. Blame the general election or whatever, but this council is in a says that he can't set a sustainable budget for 21, 22, and only setting it 2020 by using reserves. I would say that if you had adopted some of the things that we had adopted, like lighting, street lighting, I see it's now going to council, and it's going to save, what, £1 million a year? You would be saving that now. I see you were doing housing investment. We proposed that years ago.
Oh, come on, I'm not you have to get away with that. That isn't true. The housing, you didn't promote any time before the Conservatives did, so don't suggest you did.
I put it forward in budget debates.
It's been going on 3 years. I'm sorry, I don't accept that at all.
There is also that in the past years, you have robbed the redundancy reserve, the Veolia reserve, in order to prop up the budget year on year on year. It's now starting to come home to roost. You had used to proclaim zero increase in council tax. Aren't we good? And now it's coming home to roost. Exactly the financial predicament that the Conservative group and the Conservative cabinet have placed this council in.
Councillor Dean Carroll.
Thank you, Leader. After such a long and detailed critique of what Councillor Evans feels that we've got wrong over the last 9 years of running this council, I hope in that case that the main opposition group will actually be bringing a fully costed alternative budget to February's budget setting meeting, which is something, as a main opposition group, they have failed to do for the 9 years that the council has been in existence. Once you put your money where your mouth is and actually come up with a fully costed alternative budget, then you'll have a little respect and we'll start paying attention to you. Until then, just finger in the wind.
And despite what was said, we do actually do very well as a council. You know, let's face it, we are under pressure. All councils are under pressure because of social service pressures, not just in children's, but also in children's now. And I think we do very well. And actually, the services we provide for the people of Shropshire are really, really good. The only criticism I will accept, and I think there is room for improvement, is in highways. And we are making efforts to deal with that, which I think we will detail more in the next couple of months. But in terms of the general budget and the way we deal with social services, our record is excellent. And when we do Ofsted or we have outside inspections, we always come out extremely well because we do provide good services. And that's the reality. And we balance the books on a regular basis. We've got a squeeze again this year, and you know that's part of the normal process I think councils these days. You do have to keep squeezing. But I don't accept much of. No, I'm not going to let you come back. No, you can't. No, I'm sorry. No, I think you had more. I think a lot of what you said last time was not true, or not always your version of the truth, should we say? I didn't think it was very fair on some of the things that have happened up to this point. Well, I'm not going to let you. What I will do, we'll move on to the next item in a minute, and then you can talk in the Treasury Management if you want to, about finance. But in terms of the financial strategy, there's a report, there's some recommendations on page, well it says page 2 of the report I got, because I've got it on a separate document. There's A and B. Can I see all those in favour, please? Thank you. Now we will move on to Treasury Management, item 11, which actually does give a better idea of the overall finance of this council. So it's on page 63. And actually, David, I ought to ask David Miller to introduce it, and then I'll...
Yes, thank you, Jude. I mean, there is very little to say about this by way of introduction. But it really isn't a decision-making paper as such, it's a reporting paper. So the recommendation is just to note and accept the position as set out. I will again remind members that this part of the operation has again overperformed compared to expectations to the tune of around about £130,000 in the second quarter of the year, which is admirable. And again, I congratulate everybody involved in looking after the stewardship of our funds. But you're quite right, there is well over £100 million sitting there, all in earmarked reserves pretty much. But that because some of the events that are set aside for are sometime in the future, we are able to use that money to fund other things in the meantime, and therefore save having to go to the markets all the time. But I'll just leave it at that, I think, and just move that recommendation and leave you to draw the points that you
I'll
want to make.
second it, and I'd just draw people's attention to page 72. Because if you look at page 72, there's a table there, which is our current investment list. And the figure at the bottom shows that we've got invested with various organisations £129,480,000. We're not a penniless council, we're not financially in any problem at all. What we're trying to do, though, is make the books balance on a day-to-day basis, and that's a different thing. So I actually think our overall financial position is good, but there is pressure on our revenue account, and that's the reality of the situation. I invite you to comment.
Thank you, Chairman. I think your refusal to let me reply to that comment speaks volumes, that you wouldn't let me put the record completely straight. I see this management paper. Congratulate the staff on doing £120 million, 0.925% is good. But what is it blooming well doing in the bank, earning 1%? Inflation is 2.1%, wage inflation is 4%, so the value of that money is going down year on year on year. We should have invested that years ago. As I said earlier on about these streetlights, I put forward a fully costed paper, signed off by the appropriate officer in charge of streetlights, signed off by the Section 151 officer, which showed the savings that could be made, and this council-controlled Conservative group voted it down. That was a good paper, that was a good policy, and yet it wasn't failed. Yet it failed because you failed to support it. And now you're coming forward with a cabinet, with a council paper next Thursday saying how good it is. Well, I hope it comes down to roost that it does actually deliver what it says.
I'm actually pleased, Roger. I mean, you did bring it forward, but I'm actually pleased we did wait, because on the back of that, we actually got a £3 million interest-free loan. So I think it's money well saved.
Can I come back to that, Chairman?
Go on then.
Go on. We're paying back over 5 years. Inflation is 2%, 3%, depending on which one you look at it. If we'd have borrowed it from the Public Works Loan Board, we could have done it at 2%, so it would be net zero cost, because the inflation would have done that. So then was the time to do it, not now. We're doing it now because aren't we good with getting 0%? We could have, in effect, in real terms, got a 0% many years ago.
The public loan board hasn't been below 2.3% in my memory, so it's never been 2%. Right. So we've got the Treasury Management Update Quarter 2, and it's been presented. Can I see all those in favour of that? Thank you. Exclusion of the press and the public. Can we all vote on it? Oh, hang on. That's okay.
No, page 14.
The portfolio holders will be puzzled. Right, everybody's looking puzzled. So there is a paper about Inage Lane at Bridge North. Right, so and you're content that this can be done in public? Well, except members say they haven't got it. It was circulated on Friday. Right?
On the website.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think the confusion came from it previously being declared as a prior report, but then to be designated as a public report, and it came back on. I mean, that was the confusion behind it. So.
If we have a debate and everybody's content, if there's any problem with that. Yeah. So we're still in open session, right? So the report is here. Tim Smith, I'm going to ask Tim to come up to the table because it's got your name on the report, I'm afraid. You can't hide at the back of the room. And I'll ask Steve Charmley as portfolio holder to present it.
Thank you, Luke. There's nothing like a Christmas surprise, is there? Yeah, Innis Lane has been put up for disposal, and there is a redevelopment of the site with a leaseback arrangement for the services which currently sit on the site. So this doesn't result in any loss of service. It's just a redevelopment of part of the Innis Lane area. The recommendations are set out in 2.1, A and B, and I'm happy to move.
Right, and I do remember reading this over the weekend, somewhere along the line. Because my understanding is it's moving things around in the area as well, isn't it? Do you want to just give us a quick 2-minute version of what's going on so everybody in the back can understand what we're talking about?
Yes, I will do. Thank you very much for that. So yeah, as Steve outlined now, we've got 2 properties here that both the council owns, and we have been delivering services in terms of adult care services and youth services from those 2 buildings in quite a, dare I say, traditional way for quite some time. So they've been actually dealt with in 2 different places. With the reconfiguration within both adult care, social care, and also with some changes to how we deliver youth services, there's an opportunity for this to be a service-led integration where we can actually bring primarily two sets of services together with a housing proposition as well onto one site. So we have been out to consultations, as mentioned in the paper, asking people within the community what makes sense for them to actually deliver them from where. We have engaged with Andy and Karen's team just to ensure that the demand does exist still in Bridge North for the newly configured services. So we've been looking at assisted living, youth services and what is needed and provided there. And really what we're saying within the recommendations is we would like to take forward an outline master plan to actually have that integration. We'd like to be able to do further costing work on that would inform then a brief that we could then consider either putting out to a developer to actually say, could you develop and invest in this scheme, or alternatively, we could look at doing that ourselves. But as ever, it's really important that not only do we work with the lead directors and the respective cabinet members, but also with local members as well who have been engaged on this to date.
Right, so it was proposed by Councillor Steve Chalmers. I'm going to ask Councillor Lee Chapman to second it.
Yes, I'm very happy to second it. Can I just say a couple of words specifically in relation to this? So Innis Lane has been part of the development work we've been looking to do in adult social care since the time that I was the cabinet member some time ago. There's always been an opportunity at Innis Lane because of some additional land there, and also to free up some accommodation and build some purpose-built supported living accommodation, because we know, particularly in the Bridge North area, there are a group of older adults who will significantly benefit from this type of accommodation. So after a considerable length of time, I'm very encouraged that this has come to the cabinet, and that we've got the opportunity to develop this, because it's a fantastic facility for the community and for those individuals, both younger individuals who use the area for the youth provision, but also for those older adults who rely on the support and the community surrounding it. So I'm very happy to second it. Thank you.
If anybody goes to Innis Lane, there are the buildings, and there's also the next plot of land that is empty. So I'm assuming it incorporates the whole scheme into one. Yeah, because if I remember right, there were some electricity poles or something. But anyway, I'm sure that will be dealt with as we go forward with the report. Now, if I'm reading this right, it does say you need to bring back a recommendation. So this isn't going to be a final answer. You will go away, you'll do some work, and then you'll come back with a final answer.
That's correct, yeah, certainly is. And what we're aiming to achieve, I think, really is that key decision about is this a method that we can actually get a better facility at reduced cost? Because obviously, as a cabinet, have been talking about the need to actually be more efficient in cost terms in what we're doing. But obviously, as well, we are seeking an opportunity for others to put the capital investment in. as well. So it does refer to development and investment, and that's the primary focus for the disposal strategy.
Okay, right, it's clear to me. Anybody got any questions? Now's your chance. No? Right then, can I see them, all those in favour? Right, thank you very much. Right, that's clearly approved. Right, now then, we do now need to go to exempt. Right, so can we move that the press and public be excluded? I haven't got the legal bit, but anyway, can I see all those in favour? Right, I don't think there are any.